There's a flipping AC Cobra behind us, but it's probably not. It's probably just a kit car. But I would imagine it is a kit car. Anyway, hello everyone, welcome back. We're off to the Usher Classic Car Show. But today I'm driving something different. I'm actually in the blue Mk1 Cavalier, 1978 1.9 automatic GL. And up front, as usual, we've got the Mk1 1975 yellow Cavalier NUP 372P, who is leading the way today because it's been so long since I've driven to this location. I have absolutely no idea where I'm going. It's rained like mad the last week or so, and the ground, well, depending on where you are, the ground's quite wet. I'm hoping that they've got good drainage here at Usher, because if not, there could be some very stuck cars, or people might just not turn up. But it is an absolutely scorching day today. You can see the blue sky in the background there. So hopefully it should be a really good turnout, which means lots of video. I might split this video up if there's too many vehicles. But so as I said in one of the other videos, I absolutely love driving this blue Mk1 Cavalier. It is so smooth. Obviously it's an automatic as well. I could drive this every day the way it feels. It wouldn't faze me. It is just so nice to drive. It's very blingy, as I've said before. Lots of chrome, but it is the chrome that was on the car in 1978 when this one was built. This is a Belgian-built Mk1 Cavalier. This isn't one of the ones from the UK. This is a Belgian-built, one of the early ones, and rather like the 1975 Mk1 in front. So this is the Usher Classic Car Show. With hundreds of vehicles at the show, documenting all of them would make this episode incredibly long. As a result, I have chosen to take a closer look at some of the not so common examples on display and some of my favourites. First up, a once common sight on the roads, the Subaru Impreza. Check out this beefy looking Morris. On the logbook it's only stating as a 1275cc, but looks can be deceptive. Taking you back now to 1988 with this Porsche 911 Carrera. Bringing back memories of something I used to have, this 1998 1.6 Vauxhall Astra. Going back to a 1970s brown, this 1977 Ford Fiesta 1.1. Moving forward now to 1989, and it's hard to believe just how much power Toyota got out of this MR2 1.6 engine. Staying in the 80s now with this 1982 1.3 Ford Fiesta that's been kitted out a little bit, if you can see, with the roll cage. The 60s bank robber's choice of vehicle, this 1965 3.4 litre Jaguar. Something I wasn't familiar with was this 1971 1.3 Lancia. Something I haven't seen for a couple of years now is this 1969 5.7 litre El Camino. I think the last time I saw this was Kirkale Hall. I do have a bit of a fondness for this absolutely stunning American vehicle. Now, something I was happy to set my eyes on was this 1975 1.6 Opel Manta. You can see just how much the front end of the Opel Manta was grafted onto the back end of the Opel Ascona to make the Mk1 Cavalier. Now to 1980 with this bright yellow 1.6 Ford Escort. Now to this very tidy 1972 Triumph TR6. And sitting next to the previous vehicle, just how small does this 1955 2-litre Triumph look? Bringing back memories of my childhood, taking us back to 1986 with this 1.1 Ford Fiesta. Something I've seen many of is this 1962 1.7 Hillman Super Minx. Imagine the joy of finding another Mk1 Cavalier at this show. This time a green 1978 1.6 Mk1 Vauxhall Cavalier. Standing out in the crowd was this 1980 1.6 Ford Escort. Sticking with Ford Escorts and the colour red was this Mark III Ford Escort Cabriolet 1.6, complete with 4-leaf clover alloy wheels. A firm favourite with the boy racers was this 1986 Renault 5 GT Turbo. Not so drab was this grey 1990 Rover Mini 998, at least that's what it says on the logbook, so I'm not sure about the roll cage on the inside. Looking around you can see just how many vehicles were at the show, but let's go and have a look over at the Lotus stand. I do like the look of the older Lotus, and this 1989 Lotus was no exception. Bringing back memories of James Bond and The Spy Who Loved Me was this 1977 Lotus Esprit. Racing back to the show field now, and something you don't see every day is this 1980 Austin Morris Princess. Yes, definitely a kit car is this 2011 Southern Roadcraft 5.7 litre interpretation of the AC Cobra. Now here's something you don't see every day. It's a 1983 Datsun Bluebird GL Estate 1.8. Now I did get to see a lot of Austin Healey's down at Newby Hall last year, but take a look at this 1968 1275 Austin Healey Sprite. I don't often see a Wolseley about, but here is a 1969 1.8 example. Often at car shows that we attend, we are the only ones actually presenting a Vauxhall, and it was lovely to see another Vauxhall at this show. In this case it was a Vauxhall Victor 1966 example. My first car when I passed my test was a Ford Sierra, but it certainly wasn't a Ford Sierra XR4i like this 1983 example. Something we weren't able to feature in our recent NEC PWA Lowlights Car Show episode was this 1990 Le Mans Jaguar. Back to the minis with this 1989 modified example. Now this really was a lovely example of a 1983 Ford Fiesta XR2 Mark 1.
Here, in their natural habitat, are a herd of tramp stags grazing.
I do apologise, but I just couldn't resist that one. I do like the Caterhams, and this 2010 Caterham 7 is no exception. Here is a very tidy example of an Austin Mini 998 City. And of course, this Caterham 7 took my fancy as well, not to mention this blue 1990 TVR. I do like the Morris Minor, and this 1962 example was very tidy indeed. Bringing us up to 1993 with this 3.6 litre Porsche Carrera RS. A car that featured on the thumbnail of our Lowlights Cars Leaving episode is this 1967 3.5 litre MG. And next to it we have a 1991 Martini Racing Mazda MX-5. Next to that we have a Japanese styled 1992 Toyota MR2. Back to another Mini, and this time a 1980 Austin Morris 1275. Now this is an interesting looking 1982 Austin Mini with a lowered roof, body kit and three-dimensional flames going down the sides. This really did look the piece. Now how about this for a blast from the past? Two Sinclair C5s. Now I'm not sure if I've actually seen one of these before, but this is a 1989 3.5 litre 350i TVR. And just like that, we've got a red 1994 litre TVR. And next up, shifting up a decade, we've got a 2001 4 litre TVR. What do we have here? It's a 1959 1.5 litre Austin Cambridge. Up pops another American motor, and here we've got a Plymouth Satellite. Well, we're back for another Escort Cabriolet, and this time we've got a 1990 Mark IV 1.6 XR3i Escort Cabriolet. Just check out that full leather Recaro interior. Sticking with black Escorts, we've got a 1983 1600 RS. Now, although outnumbered, we did have a couple of vintage motorcycles here as well. Now here's an interesting piece. Check out this Lagonda. How clean is this 2-litre 1988 Ford Sierra? I think the only thing missing from this 1966 Ford Mustang 4.7 litre is Richard Hammond. This Bel Air looks absolutely stunning inside and out. Looking a bit more muscular, we've got this 1969 Ford Mustang. Well, what do you know, it's another Mark IV Escort, this time a 1987 XR3i, this time with the standard Recaro interior. Well, what do you know, it's another Ford Mustang, this time a 1965. I do like my military vehicles, and these Willys Jeeps are no exception. Something I think was underrated in its time for its styling is the Ford Probe. Something else that doesn't tend to feature very much at classic car shows are the Saabs. Well, what do we have here? It's a Mark I Sierra. Well, I think I'm starting to get spoiled today with the Vauxhalls, and this time we've got a 1966 Vauxhall Viva. Now this does appear to be a very tidy 1965 Land Rover. This 1976 Hillman Imp 875cc seemed to be attracting quite some attention. Back for some more Land Rover action. This 1957 3.5 litre petrol looked really smart. Whilst passing some American muscle, I found another Mark I MR2. Even more Vauxhall, Opel and Bedford action here with this 1972 2.3 litre petrol Bedford camper van. Do my eyes deceive me? On the one occasion we don't bring the Mark II GLS. This is a 1987 Vauxhall Cavalier Mark II GLS I. we are certainly making our way through all of the different marks of Ford Escort Cabriolet today. Check out this 1994 1.6. No, I can't help myself. I've got to go back to that Mk2 Cavalier GLS and just look at how clean the interior is on this car. Oh my days, it's another Mk2 Cavalier saloon, this time a 1986L. As you can see, it's had quite some modification under the bonnet. And here we've got a DAX AC Cobra replica. This is the one that was following us at the beginning of the video. Well, what do you know? It's a 1957 pink Ford Thunderbird. So here we've got a 1988 Austin Mini 1275. I just love the roof rack. Now for a very aggressive looking Ford Mustang, this time a 2006 4-litre. Now how about this for some American muscle? A 1979 5.7-litre Chevy Corvette. Back for another Mini, and this time it's a 1996 Rover Mini 1275. And right next door we got a 1973 1.6 Volkswagen Beetle. With an incredibly futuristic look, check out this 1973 2.67 litre Citroen SM. At 20 years young, check out this 2004 3-litre Ford Mondeo ST. And just like that, we're back to 1938 with this MG TA. And regulars in the Northeast car show scene, we've got 4 Ford Pops. And what I think will be the last Sierra of this episode, we've got a 1992 2-litre Ford Sierra RS Cosworth. And there we are, back to the 2 Cavaliers we brought to this show. The blue Mk1 1.9 GL automatic in 1978 and the 1975 Mk1 Vauxhall Cavalier 1.9 GL.